Oh man, as government systems and government-influenced systems increasingly break down and reveal their predatory, special favor, immoral, and inefficient gangland nature, creative people are starting to take the jobs on themselves. And they're getting things done without, I know it's a shocker, without forcing other people to pay for what they want via taxation. Case in point, the increasing number of reports about Oakland, California's self-titled Pothole Vigilantes. Hi everyone, I'm Gardner Goldsmith for MRC TV. This is a classic story of initiative, neighborliness, and individualism, seeing people who've begun handling so many road repairs themselves, they actually have their own website. As Matt Agaris reports for the Free Thought Project, quote, because the state is notoriously horrible at doing the jobs they claim to do, an anonymous group in Oakland, California has taken it upon themselves to fix the problem. Because fixing potholes without the approval of the state is illegal, these self-proclaimed pothole vigilantes strike under the cover of darkness in the dead of night. Ha ha ha. Classic. That's awesome. And of course, by state, Matt means here the political sphere in general, not just a single state as in the parlance of the United States of America. We're talking the generic normative polis, and Oakland is a notoriously inefficient and messed up polis. That is for sure. Quote, what started as a mission between two friends quickly grew into a much larger movement that gained national attention and dozens of volunteers. In a short film posted this month on Facebook, residents of Oakland expressed their praise for the group in the comments below it. Indeed, Agorist offers numerous positive comments, including this. This is great! I'm thrilled that people take it upon themselves and just make it happen. I'm disheartened that our tax dollars and government neglect these issues. It costs so much less to prevent and patch these problems than it does to deal with lawsuits and harm caused by their existence in the first place. And this recalls something Caleb Tolan observed for MRC TV, and as Matt Agaris reported in the same period, Domino's Pizza took to solving pothole problems by encouraging customers to nominate their towns for pothole repairs at payingforpizza.com. Similarly, I reported in March about the neighborly efforts of rock star Rod Stewart, who joined his friends to fix the roads in their area. And I also noted that this was how colonial America and ancient Brits handled their travel routes. Not through the assumption of government or political control and the taking of land via eminent domain and then wasting tax money for upkeep that doesn't match consumer interests, but instead through private property, neighborly recognition of travel needs, and respect. As I wrote at the time, quote, local British farmers and peasants who had established privately run, centuries-old access paths and roads permitting neighborly travel for sale of livestock and goods engaged in some of the first tax protests in that nation's history, as the Norman-sparked enclosure movement saw royal peers take over the lanes and mandate maintenance fees on the roads. That criminal takeover, by the way, was committed even as the royals grabbed private crop acreage and shifted it to pasture land, a multi-generational offense that led to the Peasants' Revolt of 1381, Jake Cade's Rebellion of 1450, and even saw Thomas More criticize it in Utopia, published in 1516. Of course, the Oakland Vigilantes, as they have been called, might not know that they're engaging in activity that has such deep historical roots, but the results are being heralded by locals just the same. In fact, Oakland isn't the only U.S. locale seeing fed-up civilians take to the streets to fix rather than destroy, of course the opposite of BLM protests, their neighborhoods. Notes Agorist, Quote, another perfect example of this very situation was in the news a few years ago on Hawaii's Kauai Island, when private citizens performed a $4 million road repair job for free in just 8 days. When a need arises in a community, people naturally come together and take care of what needs to be done. They don't need someone forcing them to do it. One wonders how the politicians and bureaucrats view these private acts of initiative and goodness. After all, the vigilantes expose the inefficient government system. But on the other hand, politicians and ceaselessly failing political systems typically don't see those systems die. They see them get more money under the pretext that the added cash will help them improve, which of course they never do. Actually, this is very reminiscent of something from a film. If you're a fan of writer-director and Monty Python member Terry Gilliam's groundbreaking take on 1984 that was called Brazil, then you likely might be thinking of an early scene from that film in which we discover that the centralized bureaucratic government is so pervasive and so sluggish, it controls the central heat and air conditioning of every home and apartment, leaving our protagonist sweltering on a very, very bad night. But Harry Tuttle, a vigilante air conditioning / heating repairman, played by Robert De Niro, swings in to do the job, acknowledging that he's actually a privateer and that the government turns a blind eye to his work as long as he keeps it hush-hush himself.
Wouldn't it be simpler to work for central services?
Couldn't stand the pay.
Getting warm. You couldn't what? Couldn't stand the what?
Paperwork. Couldn't stand the paperwork.
Oh yeah, that is a great point that seems perennially valid. And I think that if we showed our neighbors more examples of this contemporary, real-world private initiative that better handles what are typically claimed to be government jobs, I think we might better break away from the inefficient and immoral government sphere in the first place. Better roads, lower taxes, better neighbor-to-neighbor ties, and morality. Sounds like a good deal to me. I hope you agree. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you on YouTube, as long as they're not censoring us. We'll see you on Rumble. We'll also see you at MRCTV.org. That's MRCTV.org. And if you go to the website, which we hope you will do often, please visit the MRC Store, because you can buy some great items there and help the Media Research Center. We'll also see you on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. And on Twitter, I'm at Gard Goldsmith, and on Gab, I'm at Gardner Goldsmith. Thanks so much for watching. For MRC TV, I'm Gardner Goldsmith.